Let's just jump right in. We're here to talk about one thing: how to finally speak English like a child. Curious and fearless, and not like a student who's trapped by all the rules.
So, does this sound familiar? You've spent years, maybe even a decade studying English. You know the grammar, you've memorized the vocabulary lists, but the second a real conversation starts, you just freeze. Your mind goes totally blank. I need you to hear this, and hear it loud and clear. It's not you. You're not bad at English. The problem is the way you've been taught to learn. It's been holding you back this whole time.
And that leads us right into our first big idea, what I call the speaking paradox. It's that crazy, frustrating gap between knowing a language and actually being able to speak it.
Let me tell you a quick story about someone we'll call Sarah. I bet it's going to sound familiar. 8 long years of English classes. She knew all the grammar rules, she aced her written exams, no problem. But then, she gets a job interview in English. The interviewer asks a simple question, "Tell me about yourself." And just silence. She completely froze. All that knowledge was just trapped inside, and she walked away feeling so stupid and frustrated.
And this really gets to the heart of it. It's like between her brain, where all those rules were stored, and her mouth, which had to actually make the sounds, there was a giant wall. A mental block, built brick by years of learning the wrong way. So why does that wall even get built? Well, that brings us to our next section: why school methods fail. And this is a big one. I mean, think about it like this. Could you learn how to swim just by reading books about it? You can memorize the physics of buoyancy, study diagrams of the perfect swimming stroke, but the first time you actually jump in the pool, you'd panic. Well, that's exactly what most English classes do. They teach you about English, but they never really teach you how to swim in it.
And this creates what I like to call the student traps. That fear of making a mistake because you're so used to seeing red ink on your homework. It stops you from even trying. Then there's the constant mental translation, trying to build a sentence in your language and then translate it word for word. It's slow, it's exhausting, and it just sounds unnatural. Your brain is so busy checking all the rules that it has zero energy left to just speak.
So here's the bottom line. You filled your head up with tons of rules, but you never actually trained your mouth. Speaking is a physical skill, right? It's like playing the guitar or learning a sport. It's about muscle memory in your tongue and your jaw, not just abstract knowledge in your brain.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution, because it's actually way simpler than you think. It's time to uncover the child's secret. And this is where everything flips. Just look at the difference. The student studies rules. The child just listens and absorbs. The student aims for perfection. The child just copies sounds. The student is terrified of mistakes. The child makes mistakes all day long, totally freely. You see, they're playing 2 completely different games. The student is trying to pass the test. The child is just trying to communicate.
So how do they really do it? It's this beautiful, natural process. First, for months, they just listen. They're like little sponges, just soaking in the sounds and the rhythm of the language. Then, step 2, they start to copy, messily, without any fear of getting it wrong. Next, they repeat. They'll use simple phrases like "more juice" over and over and over again. And the most important part? Their only goal is to communicate, to get their message across, not to be perfect.
Think about this for a second. How many grammar books does a 3-year-old read to become fluent? How many vocabulary lists do they have to memorize? How many verb conjugation charts? The answer is a big, fat 0. Absolutely none. They learn by doing, by playing, by being immersed in the language.
All right, so how do we actually use this? Let's get practical. We're going to move from theory into action with your new daily practice. This is where it gets really fun. And listen, forget studying for hours. You don't need that. All you need is 30 minutes a day. That's it. And we're going to break it into 3 simple 10-minute chunks. 10 minutes of listening, 10 minutes of copying, and 10 minutes of speaking. It's simple, it's not scary, and it works. So what does this actually look like? Step 1, listen like a child. Find something simple to listen to, maybe a kid's show, and turn off the subtitles. Don't worry about understanding every word. Just feel the music of the language. Step 2, copy, don't study. This is a technique called shadowing. You hear a short phrase, you pause, and you say it out loud, trying to copy the sounds exactly. You are literally training the muscles in your mouth. And then step 3, and this is the most important one. Speak before you're ready. Talk to yourself in the car. Describe what you see out the window. And yes, use broken English. Use it proudly.
And that's the key, right? Simple wins. A child says, I go to market. They don't try to say, I am considering the possibility of traveling to the market. Why? Because simple language works. It's clear, it's effective, and it frees up your brain to just connect with another person. And this all leads us to our final and honestly most important mindset shift: fluency first, accuracy later. We have got to redefine your goal. Fluency is not about speaking with perfect grammar. It's about the ability to communicate, to connect with people. A child who uses messy grammar but can tell you a story or share how they feel is way more fluent than a student who knows every rule but is too scared to open their mouth.
So from this day forward, I want you to see mistakes in a totally new light. A mistake doesn't mean you failed. A mistake means you're making progress. It means you tried. It means you are one step closer to where you want to be.
Seriously, think about when you were a toddler learning to walk. You fell down, hundreds of times? Did your parents get mad at you for making a mistake? Of course not. They cheered for you every single time you tried to stand up. We have to treat our speaking the exact same way. Celebrate the trying, not just the perfection.
So let's bring it all home. I want you to really let this sink in. You were never, ever bad at English. You were just stuck in a system that was designed to help you pass tests, not to have real conversations.
So the only question left is this. Are you ready to stop being a student and start being a child again? Are you ready to speak badly, to make messes, and to do it proudly? Because that, right there, is the only real path to speaking with confidence. Your journey starts right now.